Meteorologist Jason Mikell joins us now. Jason, I've never seen the Northern Lights, have you?
I've never seen it. I've always lived in the city, so I got that light pollution.
I look forward to seeing it one day.
Maybe we got to go out to the country.
It's on the bucket list.
All right, we'll keep that on the bucket list. You can keep all the plans you have for your Sunday because it's going to be beautiful out there. Even, Neil, yesterday with that Burning Man Festival, we were talking about those monsoonal rains last night at 11. That is beginning to wane in that area here, but the Pacific North and West are likely going to be stuck in the cloud cover. Certainly if you have some friends that are maybe you are flying out there in the coming days, maybe you have some family and friends coming in from there. I don't think they're going to have any sort of flight delays because of the extra rain out there, but it could slow them down just a wee bit. We have a very, very nice tranquil forecast for us. A summertime ridging of high pressure keeps things relatively quiet for us here and also stable, which we like to enjoy here for Northeast Ohio. We have a little bit of a drape of a frontal boundary moving through portions of eastern New York right now, draping south into the Keystone State, moving into northern Jersey. A lot of cloud cover there, but a little bit of less rain that you would normally expect with a storm system moving through that area. So because we have a stable air mass across the area right now, we'll be in the mid 70s going down to the 60s here overnight tonight. I think we'll have a little bit more 60s rather than 70s showing here on this graphic, but I think we'll likely wake up to a little bit more sunshine tomorrow. There are the 60s there, blanketed across Northeast Ohio. Pair of 6s for Akron, Canton waking up tomorrow morning. I think we'll likely be in the mid to low 60s for some areas inland, maybe some of the rural areas getting down to the low 60s for you tomorrow morning. Mid to upper 60s and even some 70s along the coastline, draped all the way back over towards the Chardon, maybe even the Chesterland, maybe even the Ashtabula, maybe even some of the Jefferson area. Seeing meteorologist Matt Wentz is from that area there, so a shout out to them. High UV index for you tomorrow. We're going back into the 80s here. Very, very warm, I will say. We'll start out around the low 70s around 8, 9 a.m. tomorrow, and then eventually move into the 80s here. And I think the feels like temperatures will likely err on the side of upper 80s, maybe even some 90s. Look at Youngstown tomorrow. Pair of 8s for you for the afternoon high on your Sunday. Mid 80s for Ashtabula, 87 degrees for Medina, pair of 8s for Mansfield. All across the region will likely err on the side of maybe about 4 or 5, perhaps even 6, 7 degrees above normal tomorrow because of that ridging of high pressure. Oh, excuse me. 1 to 2 feet wave heights tomorrow on Lake Erie. West-southwest winds roughly about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Because we have that area of high pressure just to the south and also east of us, it's going to throw all that southwest wind right back into Northeast Ohio, which is what's going to be elevating our temperatures. Even the Guardians are going to enjoy a beautiful forecast tomorrow. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Cannot emphasize that enough because it's going to be feeling extra hot out there. The upper air pattern. So let's talk about this right now. There's that area of high pressure. Notice how we have this amplification that's going to bring all that warm, moist Gulf air straight north into the Ohio River Valley, even moving into portions of Michigan, even New York going to be dealing with very warmer than normal temperatures. Then it settles back down. As it settles back down, we get rid of this area of high pressure. We allow an area of low pressure to come back in. We exchange that and allow for a frontal boundary to come in. That's why we're going to have a little bit of cooler weather arriving for the latter half of next week. We kick that thing back over towards the south and west and allow for those cooler temperatures. Now let's get into the future feels like temperatures for us tomorrow. Look at this. Stopping the clock at 8 a.m. Feels like the surface temperatures out there. Let's go fast forward a little bit. Let's stop the clock at maybe around 5 p.m. Feels like 92 degrees down in Dover and New Philly, near 90 degrees in Worcester, Akron, Canton, not that far removed from that. 90 degrees, it feels like in Mansfield, 91 Elyria. I think we'll likely be in the mid to upper 80s here in the CLE. But even on Monday, look at this for Labor Day, backyard barbecuing. I know you're going to do it. It'll feel like the mid-90s for you, and certainly if you're going to be near that grill, it'll likely feel like near the century mark as well. Well, this is the big picture for satellite and radar. Again, all eyes on this area of high pressure. Notice those southwest winds I was talking to you about. It's going to try to bring some storms north into the region, but because we still have that stable air mass over us, nothing's going to happen by Tuesday moving into Wednesday. We'll likely increase our cloud cover late Wednesday because the nexus of this, the gyre, I should say, of this area of low pressure is going to be up to the north, and it'll throw a few showers into our region for Thursday, but I think it's going to be less than 40% likelihood, and it could break apart once we get into Thursday evening into early Friday, and then we're all but done with that. Even look at this, by Friday, we're clearing things out yet again, and the skies will likely be clearing out as well. Here's that Union Home Mortgage 10-day outlook. Temperatures likely going to be a heat wave for us. Look at that, 3 days in a row, likely going to be in the 90s here. Labor Day, 91, 92 the next day, 91 by Wednesday. Few clouds move in late Wednesday into Thursday, but I think we'll likely keep that storm chance in and around the area late Thursday, and then we get rid of that system, as I was saying, on Friday. Much cooler, though, going from the 90s on Wednesday to the low 80s on Thursday to the 70s on Friday. So we're stair-stepping back down very, very slowly once we head into the weekend.
I know you're not a doctor technically, but a lot of water and sunscreen probably prescribed for everyone in the next few days.
I think the doctor's going to be prescribing that for many here.
Right. Many